When men grow their hair out, they think they have two options. One, pretty much suffer for months on end, if not years on end, until they get to their length destination. Or two, suffer for a short period of time and give up on it and cut it all off. Well, I'm here to tell you there is a third way that is much better than both of those ways. And basically, it requires getting a maintenance trim as you go along. Yes, this is going to slow down your growth period, but your journey is going to be much more enjoyable. In fact, you can expect enjoying your hairstyles all the way until you get to the destination goal, and I'm going to teach you and show you how to do that.
First thing we do is wet it. It's the most important thing.
Like many things in life, right? So the last time I had a haircut was about 5 or 6 months ago, and it's coming in a way that looks okay, but not exactly how I'd prefer it. I feel like there's a little bit too much bulk here, it's a little flat, and the length in the back is looking pretty good. Personally, I think if I get a cut where I'm not trying to remove any length, but to just retexturize it, restyle it. A couple other things to note is around the ears, we can trim that up. My neck hair is getting a little wild and forest-like. And also what I want to do is tame my beard. My beard is about 12 months of growth. And I plan on continuing to grow this frankly, until I get bored of it. It's been a long time since I've grown a beard, longer than 12 months. And I'm curious how it looks now versus 10 years ago or 5 years ago. So to make this cut a success, what I need to do is a couple things. First things first is I need to find a barber who specializes in long haircuts. Not all barbers are created the same. Some barbers are incredible and wonderful barbers when it comes to fades and short haircuts and classic men's style haircuts. But the minute they start pulling out the scissors, they haven't developed those skills. Some are great at both working the clippers and the scissors. And then some are really great at working the scissors. I'm going to go to a barber who primarily takes pride in their scissor work. So that's step number one, finding someone who's good at scissor work. It might make sense for you to switch from a barber to a stylist. If your barber shop is only focused on the shorter hairstyles, then it may make sense to go find your stylist. Talk to your barber and ask them. If they're a good barber, they're going to straight up tell you if they feel comfortable with this style of haircut or not. The next thing I'm doing is I'm going to give my barber a lot of photographs of the hairstyle that I'm shooting for and maybe where I'm kind of looking for in the past. I'm fortunate in that I've grown this hairstyle out before, so I have a very specific understanding of what I'm looking for and what I'm going for with a hairstyle. If you have not grown in the past, then what you're going to need to do is find inspiration on the internet. The good news is with AI, you might be able to combine some photographs to be able to share to your barber what kind of style that they're looking for. So if you have thinning hairstyle, you can pair it together with a model with thinning hair and be like, hey, I'm looking for this, but a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. I think the most important thing, the biggest challenge that most people have is unrealistic expectations or an unrealistic understanding of their hair type, what their hair can do, and what kind of haircut you can get. Realistically, some hairstyles require longer hair. Right now, my hair is just growing down to my nose. If I'm going to try to get a hairstyle that requires my hair down to my chin, it's just not going to happen. Being able to look at the details of your haircut is going to be a great first step. Ideally, your barber, if you show them the photographs, will be able to clearly communicate to you whether or not that hairstyle is going to be realistic with your hair type and your hair length. So in preparation for today's haircut, what I've done is I have styled my beard how I've normally been doing it, and I've washed my hair, and I've generally styled it to the way I want it to be. The one thing that I've done differently is there are no products in my hair today. One of the major mistakes that most men make, or a lot of men make, is they will put a lot of products in, they're having a bad hair day, so they just put a hat on, and then the hat will just smush their hair to their head, and it doesn't give the barber a lot to work with when they're cutting your hair. If you do end up putting product in your hair and wearing a hat, my recommendation is that you book time to be able to wash your hair, have the barber wash your hair before you get a cut. The outcome is going to be completely different between going in with fresh, clean head of hair and one that's loaded up with products and smushed down by a hat. So let's go on, get a haircut, and we'll let the barber kind of walk you through what he's doing and why, and show you what it looks like after the fact. Let's go. So this is my goal. Yeah, so a little bit longer in the back, shorter in the front. Basically, I want to have the cut. I don't want to lose any length, especially in the back, but I just want to give it room to kind of like grow in to this pattern.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to take any length off the beard. The goal, I think, is like the front of the hair. I want to be like down to my chin, like kind of round.
As it falls naturally with the curl in it.
Yeah. So that's what is that, like 3 inches?
Yeah.
I tell my wife that's 12 inches.
I always start off with a horseshoe section on long hair, just so I can see the sides and back, what needs to be cut and what shouldn't be cut. I always try to be extra careful. There's probably people who can do this without sectioning it off like I do, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And I'm just taking the very bare minimum off so that it's like where your hair really starts to split and where it starts to bend off. And there will be different lengths because some hairs grow a little bit faster than others, but in the end you're not losing any length because it still falls exactly where it was before.
What are mistakes that a lot of guys make when growing out their hair?
Impatient. It's just you're gonna go through a lot of like awkward, impossible phases, and then people get to that point like, fuck, it just needs to go, cut it all, I can't do it anymore. Maintenance trims like this can make all the difference. People just give up too quick. Again, this is not compromising the length, this is really just maintenance and making your life a little easier.
Now, guys with finer hair, whether or not they're thick or thin, are there things to take into consideration?
I think if you have finer hair, you have to pay a little bit more attention to putting products in your hair, because what gets annoying with growing your hair out is that it constantly ends up in your face or in your eyes. And especially with finer hair, it doesn't have to be like an extreme pomade or gel or whatever, just something to weigh it down a little bit. Like a light styling paste, something like that, just to keep it out of your face, you know?
And if people are open to the idea of getting a haircut while they grow out, what kind of cadence or frequency do you recommend?
It's better to wait longer if you can. If you want to really be on some schedule, I'd say probably 2 months, 8 to 10 weeks. If you can stay away for 4 months, great, but if you can't, I would give it at least 8 to 10 weeks.
One of the challenges is like you hit a really cool spot and you're like, this looks good, and then you forget to get it cut because you're so used to growing it out.
It's like take pictures while you're growing it out of the stages where you actually liked your hair. Take a picture on that day, and then you can bring that in next time for your cut. And that gives us a little bit more of an understanding where your head's at, you know?
Now, I didn't put any product in because I knew I was getting cut, but is sea salt spray a product they could use without worrying about affecting the haircut versus like a pomade or something?
Water-based products is no problem. Like I can easily spray that out with my spray bottle. If it's like really oily type pomades, then you're really gonna have to shampoo and condition before the cut. Water-based products is usually not that big a deal. I think even without like texturizing it, it's basically still the same haircut, but it lays so much more manageable and looks so much more taken care of. It already has so much texture just because of the layers. Like if you do this, you can actually see separation in the hair. I just take that whole curl basically, pull it out as far as I can, and then where you can see where the hair starts bending, and then I just point cut into it. Where you really see that it's getting thick, that means that there's a lot of hairs there. Those are the ones you want to break up. It just jumps a little more, a little nicer. See how it's not like one long point anymore, but like now it's a little bit more of an even kind of hairline instead of like a point.
Sweet.
Did you want products in here?
No, all I need is sea salt spray. I think it
And
looks
a good
dope.
haircut.
Yeah, and a good haircut.
It's good. Looks good.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, well, there you go. You saw how I went into the barbershop, Beardbrand Barbershop, got my hair did. I am feeling pretty stoked about the change. Hopefully, you guys looking at it really can't see much of the difference, and that's kind of the goal. The goal was to leave with the same amount of hair that I went in with. However, that hair now sits a little easier, and I feel like it does. Just moving my hands through my hair, it feels lighter on the side, which I feel like was one of the major issues, was just a lot of bulk here. It feels like it's been debulked a lot. The beard feels good, just a nice little light trim on the edges, trying to square things up. And these little small changes make it easier to progress along. You know, my goal with my hair is to grow another, say, 6 months or so, get it back to long hair length. The beard, we'll see how long that lasts, maybe another several months, maybe not. But part of the journey is enjoying the journey. It's not just about the destination, especially when it comes to growing your hair and beard out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Cheers. Keep on growing.